And just to remember, we're working through lengthening and strengthening. So we want to have that feeling to begin with as we take our arms up. Think of lengthening. So we'll go long through the right side and then the left side. And you can push through your foot to get long. Reach upwards rather than across. So you're pushing from your foot straight up through your arm. The opposite heel might lift a little. Don't think about it too much, just reach. Feel the sides of the waist get long, your waistline get a bit narrower as you reach up. Reaching into length. And then both heels, both feet down, arms evenly extended. And then feel the top of your head reaching up through the gap of your arms, chin parallel to the floor. Hug the waistline back a bit, feel a bit of strength connecting into your core. Balancing your left leg, bring your right knee up and either hold behind the thigh or the shin and squeeze the leg up. Inhale, leg down, arms back up again. And this time left knee comes up, hold the thigh or the shin. Inhale, leg down. Exhale back to the first side. Try not to look at me in case I wobble. Find something still, and ideally not the person in front of you because they might wobble. Find something reliable. And then I always find kind of visualizations helpful. If you visualize a thread coming from the top of your head that's supporting you. So when you lift your knee, keep the top of the head like you're being held up by a cord through the top of your head. Keeping you tall, keeping you steady. Another each side. When the right knee comes in this next time, you're going to keep the right knee in. With that right knee in, holding the thigh or the shin, your choice, lift through the top of your head, and then rather than feeling the deep crease in your hip, try and bring the knee in closer by pulling your belly back more. So use your belly muscles to hug that leg in. Then keep the belly muscles active, extend your arms up. Keep using your belly muscles to squeeze that leg as high and as close as you can, with that imaginary thread lifting you through the top of your head. Then you're going to take your right leg behind you with the big toe touching the floor. Take your arms back so your palms face back. Roll the shoulders back up and into your chest. Hug your belly in toward the spine and drop the tailbone a little. Pulse your arms here for 10 little pulses back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bring your foot forwards and your arms back. We'll do one more each side. So right leg lifts, inhale, arms up. Exhale, right knee in. Inhale, arms up. And then left knee in. Keep the left knee in. Hold it there. Lift your chest tall. Stand right up through the top of your head. Stand with more confidence in your right leg. Pushing through your right leg to get taller. Then without your arms, float your arms up. And feel that bent leg squeezing up higher and closer to your body, not by getting deeper and tighter in the hip flexors, but by using your belly muscles to draw that leg in, which are connected to the hip flexors, but bring your mind into your belly. Take the left toes back behind, so big toe on the floor behind, arms come down. This time have your palms facing each other. Roll your shoulders back and extend right out through your fingertips, like you're holding a beach ball between your hands. Squeeze the imaginary ball and open. 9, 8. Remember to connect into your core. So even though we're slightly open in the chest and front body, still keep your belly muscles engaged. 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet come to hip distance apart again. Bring your hands onto your hips and do, with soft knees, do imaginary little hula hoop action. So you're circling your hips round. I'm quite good at hula hooping actually. I haven't done it for a long time though. And then the other way. That's just reminded me of something. There was a man on a show recently who was the international hula hooping winner. Was it on the, what's that thing? The throwdown, that's it, the throwdown. I knew it was one of those knockout programs. Amazing watching him. Back to center. Good, let's take a roll down. So drop chin to chest, looking at the floor, and then bow your chest down and continue to roll your spine down. At the bottom of the roll down, stay there a moment. We'll just hold on to opposite elbows and a nice little swing side to side. So you're just taking your spine like a pendulum, Swinging to the right, swinging to the left. So your hips stay steady as your spine swings. Not really that you're swinging your arms just travel with the movement of your spine. One more of those side to side. Back to center. Soft knees, pull your belly to your spine and roll your way back up again. As you come up, roll the shoulders back. Okay, we'll take it. So we want the feet to be hip distance, so in line with your two bony front hip points. Take your hips straight back, glance down, your knees should be following the forward direction of your toes, and then back to standing again, pressing the arms back. Sitting down, inhale, standing up, exhale, and just 3 more of those. Sensing your knees go straight forwards, feeling the weight stay even in your heels. 2, and up. 1 more time. Good, and then we're going down this time and staying there for little pulses, so sit back and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7. Have your gaze slightly forwards, even if it means just looking forwards along the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then push all the way up to standing. Right hands to hips, right heel lifts, keep the hips level and lower. Left heel lifts and lower. Feel the front of your foot press forwards as the knee draws forwards, but keep the hips perfectly level. So your heel lifts and your knee draws forwards. Last on the left. Okay, then with a squat, right heel lifts as you squat down. We're doing just the right side for 4 more. Right heel. And 3. Keep nice and steady in your left leg. 2. 1. Then the pulses on the right side going down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We do the left side single squats. Heel lift to standing. Heel lifts to standing. Does that feel all right? 3. Even with that one heel lifting, you're still staying in a forward direction with both knees. Next one down, stay down. Pulsing. 10, 9, 8. Feel the muscles wrapping between the back of the knees and your sit bones are engaged. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To standing, both heels down. Slide your right big toe back. Balance on your left leg. Take your arms back, palms face back. This time, lean your chest forwards. Engage the back of your right leg and see if you can lift the right leg up until the muscles of the back of the leg and the buttock muscles are engaged. Keep rolling back the shoulders. If you want to lift further, keep lifting that back leg higher so you come more to a capital T shape. Otherwise, just stay where you were. Pulse your arms 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step your feet back together. And then slide the left foot back. Arms go back, this time palms face each other. Soften in your standing leg. So don't lean your chest further forwards yet. Just lift the leg and feel your buttock muscles engage, the back of the leg engage. That could be where you stay. Keep your belly firm. Or keep lifting the back leg and your natural forward movement will happen as you tilt. Palms press towards each other. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step your feet back together. Bring your hands to your hips, soft knees and circle round. And the other way. And then as your hips come to center, pause there. Take both arms up. Crown of your head reaching through the gap of your arms. Right arm down, hand on your belly, lean to the right. Firm your belly in and get long in your tailbone. See if you can push from both legs to get longer in that side angle. And then release your right arm. Inhale. Exhale, lift the right arm. Inhale, lower the right arm. Exhale, lift, zipping up the pelvic floor and belly. Inhale, lower. Exhale, so as the arm lifts, it's like it's pulling a cord on a pelvic floor belly lift, with each lift of your arm connecting that cord and lifting the zip up. One more time. When your arm lifts this next time, come all the way up again. Your head still stays long between your arms. Left hand to belly. Lean over to the left slightly. Pause. Feel like you've got breaks in the right side of your waist that stop you going too far. Press through your legs. Engage the legs, the core. Release your arms. Inhale. Exhale, lift the left arm. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Yeah. And remember, everything that we do, you can make it easy by not engaging properly. You can make it strong by engaging well. So put your mind into your core supporting you as you lift your arm so it doesn't push down pressure in your back. 3, 2, 1. Then when your arm lifts on this one, come all the way up. Arms behind, interlace your fingers, roll back the shoulders and stretch your arms back away. At the same time, draw the lower ribs in, firm the front line of your abdomen toward the back line of your abdomen. As your arms release, lower chin to chest. Imagine your bottom's on a wall. So as you roll down, try not to let your bottom push back on the wall. Just let your bottom slide up the imaginary wall. So instead of your bottom pushing back, it moves up. At the bottom of the roll down, hang loosely a moment. And come down onto hands and knees. Okay, so forwards a bit on your mat. So you've got enough mat behind you for your legs to straighten into planks, which we'll do in a moment. Spread all your fingers out. Your little fingers will be near the outside edge of the mat and your shoulders will line over your thumb joints. Push the ground firmly through straight arms. Chest moves slightly further away from the floor. Look ahead of your hands and draw the back of your head toward the ceiling. With your toes tucked, lift your knees 1 inch off the floor and keep them there. As you keep your knees hovering, feel the thigh bones pulling up into the back of the hip sockets and hollow in a narrow space of your lower belly. Try not to let the sides of the waist hang down, but as you hover here, hug the lower ribs in a little, lift that space a little bit more. That's it, yes, there. And keep the shoulders away from your ears without letting the ribs drop. 1 more breath. Knees go down, sit back to a child's pose, one hand on top of the other, like you're making a pillow for your head, and rest your head on that pillow. Relaxing the shoulders. Elbows and wrists. Second one, come up to hands and knees again. So just watch briefly first. When you're going to start doing exactly the same as you did, so the knees will hover. I want you to try and keep that exact line of your hips. When the right leg goes back, the hips stay level. Now, if I don't engage that right leg before the left leg goes, what's likely to happen is the right leg isn't ready. So when the other leg goes back, you drop. So the first leg that straightens out, you've got to actively engage that leg, connect it up into the core, and then the second leg goes back and the pelvis shouldn't have moved any higher or lower. We're going to go right leg first. So all fours, spread your fingers, look just ahead of your hands. Toes tucked, hover the knees 1 inch. Pause. Hug and engage the lower belly. Slide your right leg slowly back into a straight leg and engage the right leg. The left knee should still just be 1 inch off the floor. Then with that right leg engaged, left leg can extend. The pelvis didn't move. The lower ribs stay gently in. Both thigh muscles, front of your thighs pushing against the bone. 2 more breaths. From heels to shoulders, nice and long. Knees down, rest with your pillow hands, head resting on the pillow. Another breath, right down the spine. Okay, this time we'll come 1 more time and start with the left leg. So on hands and knees, set up your all 4 position well, so you've got a good starting point. Toes tucked, knees hover 1 inch. Head didn't drop. Keep actively pressing through your arms as the left leg goes back and pause with just the left leg. Engage the left leg into your belly. Right leg follows. Head didn't move, hips didn't drop. 3 more breaths. Feel like you're trying to push the ground so that you get flat between the shoulder blades. Push this up even more. That's it, even more. There you go, that's it. Yeah, keep that so you're nice and broad on the sides of your chest lift. Now, knees on the floor and lower all the way to the ground, resting your head on your pillow hands once you're lying on your tummy. Yep, so bending your arms, lower all the way down. Yep, lying on your tummy, resting your head on your hands. Okay, give your pelvis a little rock side to side just to loosen up. And then relax the pelvis into the center. Right, so now with your feet pointed rather than tucked, press into the top of your feet and your knees will pull off the ground again by pushing down into the top of the feet, kneecaps engage and pull up. Press into your pubic bone so your belly pulls up and in and your belly might get a little lighter on the floor. Keep your shoulders relaxed and head light on your hands. Okay, with your legs very, very straight now, lengthening your right leg more and more so it lifts, thigh bone away from the ground. Left leg stays active on the floor and keep your right leg lifted. A few more breaths, just with your right leg lifted. You feel the thigh bone has lifted the whole leg. Your hips are still level. Your buttock muscles engaged. Lower your right leg down. Keep that engaged on the floor as the left leg lifts. It stays long. The thigh bone has lifted the whole leg, so you've moved from the hip joint. See if you can keep a lightness in your belly so that the sides of the waist haven't fallen. And identify the muscles you're using to dominate this lift is the back of the leg and the buttock muscles. Lower that leg down. Good. And then alternate. Inhale, exhale, right leg lifts. Inhale, lower. Exhale, left leg lifts. Inhale, lower. Good. If you're doing this without lifting too high, you shouldn't find the pelvis rocking at all. The pelvis can stay level. And you should feel like you're using the buttock muscles to get that little bit of height. Think more about length than height even. Both legs down, straighten your arms out in front and let's add the arms on for swimming. Forehead on the floor. As your right leg lifts, lift the left arm and lower. As the left leg lifts, lift your right arm. Those who are happy to lift the head, lift your head and chest and lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Avoid looking forwards. So when you lift, your head lifts, but you don't crane the head back. Go all the way down each time as well, Alison. So you come up, that's it, and then you go all the way down, that's it. Opposite arm, opposite leg, for 2 more each side. See if you can keep a narrowness in the waist. 1 more each side. Leg long as it lifts. Nice. Stay lying down. Roll onto your right side so your head's resting on your right bicep. Left hand on the floor in front, just on your fingertips. Stacking your shoulders, stacking your hips. And if you need to, you can just kind of shuffle the hip and shoulder in a bit closer so you can get a curve of the waist. Lift both legs up off the ground. Flex your feet so your toes pull upwards. You can keep your hand on the floor, or if you can, arm on your side. With your arm on your side, you're going to inhale, arm up and over. Exhale, arm back down by your side. Inhale, arm up and over, keeping the waistline back. Exhale, arm down by your side. Inhale, arm over. Exhale, arm down. Is it uncomfortable on your hip? No? Okay, so I'm just going to adjust you a little bit. You're very slightly leaning forwards with the hips and going into a bit of a banana curve like that. Yep, so I want you to draw your waist back, bring your legs forwards a little, and keep it there. So this is pulling back, this is pulling forwards. Right, now try and pull from there.
Yeah, that's steady.
Steady, yeah? Good. Okay, when your arm comes over this time, keep your arm overhead. Have your arms separated, just like you did when you were standing tall at the beginning. Lift your head off your arm so your head floats between your arms. Remember when you did this standing at the beginning, you were pressing through your feet and engaging your legs. Do the same thing lying on your side, legs slightly apart. And try to avoid an overarch in the lower back. Head back down, fingers to the floor in front again. Lift your top leg higher. Crocodile legs, close them together, open them apart. Close them together so the bottom leg is participating a bit in this as well. Together, open. Exhale together, inhale, open. 3, 2, 1. Good, and then you can rest them all the way down. You're going to grab that block that you picked up at the beginning, pop it underneath your head and have both arms in front and your top knee on the floor in front. Good, start with your hands together and then just take a nice big wide swoop out with your top arm and then all the way back round again, letting your head roll on your block. Inhaling as the arm opens. Exhaling, bringing your palms back together. Nice. So bottom leg straight, Alison. That's it. Top knee on the floor. And then you're just opening like a door. So rather than a circle, just going out and in. That's it. Is it comfortable in that hip to do that? It's not pulling you. Okay. But do a couple more. Make them really full in their opening. So this lengthening that we're looking for now is width. Think of going for a wide width. One more time. Excellent. When your hands come back together, let's just pause there. So the legs will switch. The top leg's bent at the moment. As you push up, bend the bottom leg in front of you and the top bent leg is away from you. So you're in mermaid leg position. As you push up, yeah, and drop onto your, what side's that? Right forearm. Fingers point forwards on the floor. Good. Push down into your right forearm. The ribs lift slightly. Top arm opens. Inhale. Exhale, thread your arm through the gap underneath. Inhale, open. As you open, you can follow up with your gaze. Exhale, thread. Inhale, open. Good. Just gently kind of hugging the belly back in the body as you squeeze your arm through. So it's like you're squeezing your belly in as you squeeze your arm through that gap. Opening, shoulders away from ears. Threading. We've done this in previous weeks with the legs stacked. When you have the legs in this mermaid position, it allows your hips to move a little bit more into the twist with you. So you should feel you get a little bit deeper into that rotation underneath. 2 more times. Nice open arm. Then stack your legs together. Come round onto hands and knees. And do some big hula hoop circles with your hips on your hands and knees. And the other way. Okay, and this time we're going to try some push-ups. So spread out your fingers, shoulders line with thumb joints. Walk your knees back a little so that you're on the front of your kneecaps. Yeah, the back of your kneecaps are behind the bend. So in other words, you're not balancing right on your kneecap. Feet toward the ceiling. Press the ground away with your hands and get that same feeling of a plank, but from your knees to the head rather than from your feet to your head. Bending the elbows straight back, lowering your chest about 1/3 or halfway down and pushing back up again. Good. We're going to do 7 more of those. Inhale, bend a little. Exhale, push up. Inhale, bend. So you're doing a good push up there, but it's not the one that we're looking for. So elbows are going to point back. Bring your chest forwards a bit more. Right, now bend your chest as if it's going to land there. And elbows go narrow rather than wide. So they're coming by your side. So it's a tricep push up, yeah. Okay, then all the way down to the floor. Land on your chest. Rest your head on your hands. Good. Okay, rotate the legs into Pilates stance this time. So heels turn together, back of the legs engage. Instead of heel beats, we're going to start off with leg openings and closing in Pilates stance. So legs engaged, legs long, kneecaps pull off the floor. Lift your legs just enough that you can go wide, and then lift them again and bring them back in narrow. So go wide, tap the floor, lift and narrow, tap the floor. Lift wide, tap the floor, lift narrow, tap the floor. So you're tapping outside the mat and then tapping back in the middle of the mat. 3, 3. So if you can lift and move the legs without the spine dropping and lifting. 1, 1. Now lift the legs, go wide, but don't touch the floor. Turn your heels in a bit more, and now we're going to heel beat. So clap your heels together, open. clap, clap, open. Legs really reaching out long. Try and get the front of your thighs to lift off the floor, that they don't scrape the ground. 3, 3, open. 2, 2, open. 1, 1, open, and then lower your legs down. Knees wide, bend your legs so feet up toward the ceiling, and you give your feet a little sway side to side, so there's a rocking motion in the pelvis. If ever the lower back's tender at the end of the day, this is a nice one to do. It takes the pressure out the back, releases stiffness in the sacrum area. Okay, and then back to centre. Straighten your left arm, roll onto your left side. Head resting on your left bicep. It smells so delightful around here. Have you just had a bath? Have you just had a bath? It smells like bath, like really nice bath oil or something. Anyway, right, so fingers on the floor in front. It smells better than me. I was in another way today, you know, the help yourself, top up your jars place, and I was filling up my cumin powder, and I thought I'd emptied this big scoop. I thought I'd emptied it into the bag, and I missed the bag, and it went all over my trainers. Good smell, you know, when it gets in your nose. That's all I could smell all afternoon. Anyway, right, okay, so we're ready to lift the legs. Both legs up off the ground. Once the legs are lifted, flex your feet, toes toward the knees. When you're ready to take your arm by your side, inhale, arm over, exhale, arm down. Inhale, arm over. We can really connect a lot of what we do into the cycle of your breath. So exhales are particularly good and useful for engaging more. Our exhale tends to be the one that we put more power into engaging the muscles. So when you exhale, feel like you're zipping up the inner thighs into the pelvic floor, into the belly. That quick zip up with your exhale. Not that you breathe quicker, but just feeling that's a reminder to zip up and in. Next time your arm comes over, you can keep it there, palms face each other, get longer and longer, head might float. As your head reaches through the gap of the arms, maybe it comes off the bottom arm. If you can get your head to be lighter on that bottom arm, it feels like the top of your head is reaching, like your head wants to be held between your hands. Keep the feet flexed, so toes pull up and you're pushing out through your heels. Nice. Now you're just going to pull the belly up and back. There you go. So that will bring your legs forward slightly. Keep them slightly apart. Another breath. Then bring your hand back to the floor, rest your head down, top leg wider, crocodile legs. Squeeze, open. Squeeze, open. They might not come all the way together, but just as close together as you can. You can put your hand back on the floor, Vicky. That's it, yeah. Be as light as you can on that front hand. Avoid being flat in the hand because then you tend to lean into it. Just be on your fingertips. 3, both legs. Bottom leg trying to lift to the top leg. 2, 1. Good. And then all the way down. Top knee to the floor. Popping your block under your head again. So we're ready for some nice chest release. This will stretch out your hip as well as you inhale, open the arm. And as you exhale, close your arm. And don't worry if your knee lifts a little off the floor. It's absolutely fine as long as it feels okay in your body. And in this, remember, no rush. Take it steady. Sorry, Samantha, is that in your way? Let's go. A couple more. Inhaling fully, deeply, slowly. And last full one in the next one. Bet they're the highlight of the class, aren't they? Just so nice. Pop up onto your forearm and bring the legs so that they switch over. The one that's now in front of you becomes the one that's further away. The one that was underneath is the one that bends in front. Okay, so you're down on your forearm, lift up through the ribs. So bend that top one, Samantha. Bend this one, Anna. No, you were right. But bend this one. knee toward the foot. That's it. There you go. Okay, so once you lift, nice and open that bottom armpit. Arm up in the air, inhale. Exhale, thread through. Try not to let the left side of your waist drop. Inhale, open. As you thread through, be conscious of not closing the gap underneath. You're just threading through the gap rather than letting it get any smaller. So see if you can twist, but almost feeling like you're trying to pull away from the floor at the same time. So you've got to really use a press through the forearm. Nice for if you get tightness in your upper back between the shoulder blades. Good, one more time. Open, stay open. Nice, then bring your legs together, come round to hands and knees, swiveling back onto hands and knees with the hip circles. Just be nice and free with the movement in your hips. Change direction. If your head wants to move, let it move. Don't worry too much about all those precision things that we often put into the Pilates exercises. Now just move easy. Let's take it to downward dog. So spread your fingers back out, lift the hips, look through the gap of your legs. And even if your knees are bent, which is absolutely fine, try and get the top of your thighs like they're trying to push back toward the back of the room. So the top of your thighs right up into the hip creases, feel like they are pressing back. Right, Carol, you'd be better taking a bend in your knees for this, a decent bend. That's it. And give you a little push, but keep your hands where they are. In fact, go a bit wider with your hands. That's it, yep. Okay, so keep your knees bent. Feel all right? Mm-hmm. One more breath there. Then walk your feet forwards to your hands and lower your bottom down to sitting. Okay, a real quick recap. Last couple of weeks we've done reverse tabletop, your easier option. One leg reverse plank, either side, or double leg reverse plank, both legs straight, which is your harder option. I'm going to do two. So if you're doing the straight leg, you can switch sides. Stick with reverse tabletop, this one, yep. So if you're doing reverse tabletop, legs are bent slightly apart. If you're doing reverse plank, legs are together and straight. If you're reverse plank people, feet point. Elbows bend a little. Ooh. Squeeze the elbows towards each other and straighten your arms, starting to puff out the chest. Then lift your hips, tuck your tailbone under. Look to the ceiling without the head falling back. And feel like there's a big handy sling wrapped from the ceiling under your lower back and bottom, lifting you. Lower down. Switch the leg over if you're doing a single leg. Give your wrists any little rest that they might need before we do the second side or your second one. Hands back again, bend, squeeze, straighten. Lift, rolling over the heels if you're on straight legs. 3, 2, pushing right down. 1, good, and then lower your bottom. Everyone have straight legs. Hands hold your ribs, lift your ribs up and kind of wriggle onto the front edge of your sit bones a little bit, like your pelvis is starting to help you to tip forwards. Bring your hands onto the front of your ribs, keep long in your waist and round your spine forwards over your hands. So the belly stays hugging in, the pelvis is upright and the spine is rounding forwards. Top of your head reaching toward the front of the room, extend your arms to the front of the room, so your head's between your arms. Keep lifting long and arcing forward. So there's a backward pull in the belly and a forward reach through your arms and head. From there, keep pulling the belly back and roll all the way down to the floor. We're going to go to what we were doing last week. Inhale, arms over behind. Exhale, hug your right knee to the chest. Inhale, back to a full body reach. Exhale, hug left knee to your chest. Inhale, full body reach. Exhale, right. Let the leg land with control so you don't let the leg fall heavily, making a sound or vibration on the floor. Let the leg land, so it's almost like you don't really want your mat to know the leg has landed. It's so gentle in its landing. And that movement's going to come from your core. Do a couple more each side. Okay, when your right knee comes in next, keep your right knee in. Feet are pointed. Good. Press your shin and hands against each other. Curl your head and shoulders up. Elbows wide, so the shoulders are wide. Curl the back of the chest up a little more. Keep your tailbone long. Soften the grip with your hands. And remember when we did the knee up earlier, and I said use your belly muscles to pull that leg in. Stay in your curl, soften the touch of your hands and use your belly muscles to pull that leg in even though you're still touching it. Lift your left leg up so the feet are about the same height, and let's go to single leg stretch. Left hand to left ankle, right hand to right ankle. Left hand to left ankle, right hand to right ankle. Inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Feel the core involvement is in bringing that leg towards your body. So you get this real good hip flexing stretch, which activates you deep into your abdominal wall. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Both legs together and hands behind your head stay lifted, and pop your feet onto the floor, legs touching. Keep the back of the chest lifted, rotate right shoulder towards left hip. Inhale back to center, stay lifted. Rotate left shoulder to right hip. Inhale, center, stay lifted. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Your legs are together so you can feel if they're sliding. If they're sliding, that means your pelvis is moving on the floor. And if your pelvis is moving on the floor, that means you're twisting too far or not quite engaging enough, and you want to reduce the amount of twist. So pelvis stays still, lift and twist without the lower body moving. Try and breathe smoothly, no big pushes of the breath, smooth in and out. To center, bring your knees back up again. Do it with the single leg stretch legs. Right leg extends and cross the right shoulder. Center. Left leg extends and cross the left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, cross. Inhale, center. Exhale, cross. Now I want you to try and keep the legs tracing the same line each time, so the pelvis stays central, and double time it. So you cross one way, cross the other way. Cross one way, cross the other way. Notice if your elbows are pulling you across, and rather try and feel the back of the chest, lift and draw you across. 2, 2, 1. Good in the back, Viv. 1. Center, pause, keep your hands behind your head and extend your left leg. Cross your left shoulder. 5 small movements here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Right leg extends. Cross to the left leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. This is your last bit. Double leg stretch. Legs come in, hands to ankles. Keep the back of the chest lifted as you extend your arms and legs. Then circle your arms out, back to the ankles. 5 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, circle round. There's a certain amount of heaviness in your belly when you extend, and you want to keep the lift of your chest so you feel a big wedge of air behind the back of your chest and head that holds you up. Got another 1 or 2? I don't know, hopefully you were counting. 1? All right, I bet it is. And then head down when you're done, turn your head side to side. Nice, and you might like to take the legs into a butterfly stretch, first of all, knees apart. Arms might go out wide, so you get a bit of air in your armpits. Space in your chest to breathe deeply. And then push your legs down the mat so they straighten out. Open the legs wide so you're in a star position with your legs, and take your arms behind in a star shape. So now the whole body open. mountain. Great. As you slide your legs in bent, bring your right leg up in the air, and as it bends, cross your right ankle onto your left knee. Now you can bring the left leg towards you and get your arms to loop around the back of the left thigh, buttock stretch. The right hip should feel slightly like it rolls away from the waist as the left thigh presses towards you. Release, right leg back up in the air and kick back 5 little kicks. 5, 4, 3, 2, right foot to the floor, left leg up in the air. Then when the left leg bends, cross your ankle onto the right thigh. Bring the right leg in, hands behind the right thigh bone. Okay, and this time the left hip should feel like it rolls away from your left waist, and your right thigh should feel like it's pressing towards you. Those 2 little actions should get you in a bit deeper. Anyone whose head falls a long way back, you can pop your block behind your head. But I'm looking round and you're all looking actually good alignment. You do need yours actually, Kevin. There you go, probably because you've got a broader chest. Okay, right foot down, left leg in the air, little kicks back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring both knees in. Circle your knees with one hand on each knee. Open and close the circles. Go the other way. And when you come into your final resting position, you can go knock-kneed position, feet wide, knees together. Or you can go feet wide at the bottom end of the mat so your legs are straight, whatever feels good. Give yourself a little shake out so everything falls comfortably and freely. Anyone had a sensitive back today? Everyone's back feeling good? Okay, good. So just as you are then, let your bones become heavier, eyeballs heavier, tongue heavier. When you get that heaviness, it's like there's an unraveling inside you. The stuff that was holding on tightly lets you go to become heavier. Instead of tensing and lifting and engaging, now disengage and loosen off. From your deepest point to the most superficial surface. Notice there's a feeling of more spaciousness inside. When you breathe, maybe notice there's a little bit of space between each breath. No rush to move into the next breath. In your mind, if you get caught in a thought, move into the space between the thoughts. Instead of jumping on your thought and riding on it, move to the end of the thought and linger in the space between the thoughts. Every thought has an end, just like every breath has an end and beginning. Move into all the space. Sense a space between your eyebrows, just above the bridge of your nose, and let your attention linger there as it opens to become more and more spacious and holds your attention. Give your whole body a really deep breath, like you're filling yourself as full as you could be with the breath. Long exhale. Do that one more time. Slide your feet in flat to the floor and try and do, just on the ground, some of those little circles with your pelvis. Your bottom stays on the floor, but you're just circling around a little, like the back of the pelvis is drawing that circle. Pillory, legs bend, feet flat. There you go, that's it, yeah. Be easier. Then the other way. Into center. If you want to turn to your side to come up, then now's the time to turn to your side. Otherwise, bring your knees up to your chest and roll up if that suits you better. Take your right hand out to the floor, bend into the right arm as you take a little side bend. It doesn't matter where your legs are, whether they're straight or crossed, but keep your hips level, so left hip down. Up and over, left hand to the floor, right arm across. If the right hip feels like it's following your arm, drop it down. Back into center, go nice, tall through the top of your head. Bring your hands together. Well done. Thank you very much, everyone. Very good indeed. Have a lovely sunny weekend, is it? Is it going to stay around? Good.
Thanks, Rebecca.